They call it a $40 part. But this tiny piece of metal has quietly destroyed thousands of transmissions around the world. It doesn't make a loud bang when it fails. There's no warning light that says, "Hey, I'm about to cost you $3,000. Instead, it works in silence, right up until the moment your car refuses to shift, or worse, locks itself in gear on the highway. The craziest part? Over 90% of transmission problems come down to this single component. Not the gears, not the clutch packs, but a small electronic valve buried deep inside your transmission called the shift solenoid. And when it fails, your car starts sending secret distress signals. Subtle at first, but deadly if ignored. Today, we're breaking down the 11 hidden signs that tell you your shift solenoid is about to take your transmission with it. Because once you know what to look for, you might just save your car and your wallet from a total disaster. Deep inside, your car's transmission lies a tiny valve with a big responsibility. The shift solenoid is basically the traffic cop for your transmission fluid, deciding when, where, and how that fluid moves. In simple terms, think of transmission fluid like blood, and the solenoid like the heart valve that keeps it pumping at the right time. Every time you accelerate, slow down, or coast, the solenoid gets electronic signals from your car's computer, telling it exactly when to open or close. When it works perfectly, you don't feel a thing. Your gears slide effortlessly, like a perfectly timed symphony. But when that valve sticks, delays, or fails, everything falls apart. The fluid doesn't reach the right pressure, gears hesitate, and your car's smooth shifts turn into awkward jerks and stalls. It's one of those parts that no one talks about until it's too late. And then suddenly, everyone's blaming the transmission. The truth is, most drivers never realize how critical this little valve is until the signs start showing up. It always starts small. Maybe your car hesitates for just a second before shifting. Maybe the RPMs climb higher than usual before the next gear catches. You shrug it off. Maybe bad gas, maybe just cold weather. But that's mistake number one. These are the first signs of a shift solenoid starting to stick. When that tiny valve doesn't open or close at the exact moment it should, transmission fluid pressure drops, and the system hesitates just for a blink. That blink is your transmission begging for help. Delayed gear shifts, a faint jerk when accelerating, or that strange moment when your car feels like it's thinking too long before shifting. Those are early clues. Most people miss them because the car still drives fine. But under the surface, the fluid flow is already disrupted, and metal components are starting to grind against each other. Ignore it long enough, and those soft shifts turn into hard slams. Smooth acceleration becomes a guessing game. And the worst part? Once this damage starts, there's no easy fix, because the solenoid is only the messenger. When it fails, it takes the rest of the transmission down with it. But the story doesn't end there, because once those subtle signs are ignored, that's when the real problems start showing up. This is where things go from annoying to terrifying. One morning, you hit the gas, and the car refuses to move out of first gear. Or maybe you're cruising on the highway when, out of nowhere, your transmission slams into another gear like it's been kicked by a mule. That's not bad luck. That's your shift solenoid losing control. When it starts to fail completely, the transmission fluid can't flow correctly. The computer sends the signal, Shift now, but nothing happens. The car gets stuck, confused, or decides to shift whenever it feels like it. You'll feel sudden jolts, unpredictable surges, or long hesitations that make every drive stressful. It's like your transmission is playing Russian roulette with every gear change. In some cases, the car might slip in and out of gear entirely, suddenly losing power in the middle of a turn or merge. Imagine flooring the pedal and nothing. The RPMs rise, but the wheels don't respond. That's not just frustrating, it's dangerous, especially if you're trying to overtake or cross traffic. These are classic mid-stage symptoms of a solenoid on its last legs. It's no longer managing pressure, it's guessing. And when your transmission starts guessing, it's only a matter of time before the next stage hits, the one that can total your car without warning. By this point, your car has stopped whispering. It's screaming for help. The first big clue? That bright orange transmission warning light suddenly flickers to life on your dashboard. Most people ignore it, thinking it's just another check engine glitch. But it's not. That light means the system has detected erratic pressure inside the transmission, and the shift solenoid is usually the culprit. The onboard computer knows something isn't right, so it starts sending panic signals. If the issue keeps getting worse, your car activates a built-in safety feature called limp mode. It's basically survival mode for vehicles. The computer locks your transmission in one low gear and limits power, so you can limp home without causing more damage. It feels like your car has lost all muscle. No acceleration, no responsiveness. Just slow, stubborn movement. But make no mistake, that's your car protecting itself from you. And if you've ever smelled that faint burnt odor after driving, that's not bad luck either. It's the smell of overheated transmission fluid, cooking under pressure because the solenoid isn't managing flow properly. It's the automotive version of smelling smoke before the fire starts. Ignore it, and the heat builds, burning seals, hardening fluid, and eating away at your gears from the inside out. These are not, maybe, later warnings. Once your transmission starts overheating, it's already in self-destruct mode. But here's the twist. Most drivers never hear. Sometimes, the real damage isn't even mechanical. It's financial. Here's where this story gets ugly. You'd think a $40 solenoid wouldn't ruin anyone's life. But for thousands of drivers, it already has. Take the Ford Focus dual-clutch transmission fiasco. Drivers complained for years about violent jerks, slipping gears, and sudden stalls. Symptoms later traced to faulty solenoids in control modules. It got so bad that Ford faced class action lawsuits, and entire models were quietly recalled or redesigned. Or look at Nissan's CVT transmissions. Many owners reported shuddering, rubber band acceleration, and even total transmission failure, often traced back to fluid flow and valve body problems, with the solenoids at the center of it all. Same story, different badge. In every case, the pattern repeats. The shift solenoid fails, the system goes haywire, and drivers get told they need a whole new transmission, a $3,000 to $5,000 job. When in reality, replacing the solenoid and flushing the fluid could have solved the problem for a few $100. It's one of the auto industry's best-kept open secrets. Most repair shops won't tell you this, because full rebuilds pay better than part replacements. So people trade in their cars, thinking the whole transmission's dead, when it was just one tiny valve crying out for attention. This is where knowing what's really going on can save you thousands, and maybe your car itself. Because the fix isn't always complicated, but spotting it in time, that's where most drivers fail. Here's the truth. No one at the repair shop will tell you. Diagnosing a bad shift solenoid isn't rocket science. It's data. Every modern car can tell you exactly what's wrong, but only if you know how to listen. When a solenoid starts failing, your car's computer records specific error codes. Things like P0750 or P0770. These aren't random numbers. They're your transmission's distress calls. Plug in a basic OBD2 scanner, the same kind you can buy online for $30, and those codes will appear instantly. If you see one related to shift solenoids, don't let a mechanic convince you that you need a brand new transmission, because here's how the scam works. Many repair shops jump straight to rebuild or replacement. They'll tell you the transmission's toast because it's easier and more profitable than replacing a $40 valve buried in a $4,000 system. But here's what smart drivers do instead. They start with the basics. Check transmission fluid quality. If it's dark, burnt, or smells off, that's a red flag. Then, they replace the fluid and filter, inspect wiring connections, and only after that, test or replace the solenoid itself. In many cases, a simple fluid flush and solenoid replacement brings the car back to life. No rebuild, no loan, no heartbreak. And once that's done, you prevent it from happening again by following the golden rule most people ignore. Never skip transmission maintenance. Fresh, clean fluid is what keeps those solenoids cool, responsive, and alive. Because that's the real secret. Your car doesn't die suddenly. It sends warnings, and if you know how to read them, you'll never get caught off guard again. But there's one more twist to this story. A secret that car tuners and racers have known for years. Here's the twist no one expects. The same part that destroys transmissions can also make them legendary. High-performance tuners and race engineers have been manipulating shift solenoids for decades, not to fix them, but to control them. By reprogramming how these valves open and close, tuners can make a car shift gears faster, harder, and with race-level precision. That's how supercars achieve lightning-fast gear changes, by mastering the very system that ruins ordinary cars when neglected. The same pressure, timing, and fluid control that causes chaos in a neglected sedan is the key to milliseconds on the racetrack. The difference? Maintenance, precision, and respect for the machinery. So, the next time your car hesitates, jerks, or smells like something's burning, remember? That's not just a bad day. It's a message. One tiny valve trying to tell you that your car's life depends on what you do next. Because under the hood, every part tells a story. Some cause destruction. Others create speed. And speaking of speed, in the next episode, we're uncovering the car feature that was banned in multiple countries for being too powerful. You won't believe why automakers had to shut it down. So if you love cars, love uncovering what's been hidden, and never want to get scammed by a $40 part again, hit that subscribe button, because the next story will blow your mind.